The whispers started as rumors, then leaked stories, and now they've exploded into headlines. Jake Paul's sparring session with Tyson Fury has become the most talked about beating in boxing circles. Not because Paul stepped into the gym to test himself, but because insiders claim he was dismantled, embarrassed, and exposed in ways the cameras weren't supposed to see. Now, with Anthony Joshua looming, the boxing world is sounding one brutal alarm. Jake Paul is sprinting toward the kind of disaster that doesn't just derail careers, it brands them permanently. Tyson Fury finally broke his silence, painting a picture as hilarious as it was humiliating. He laughed, recalling Paul arriving unprepared, with no headgear, no proper kit, almost as if he had walked in off the street. Fury joked he himself fought Paul with one shoe off and one shoe on, the other falling off mid-round, yet even in this absurd scenario, the result was one-sided. Behind the humor lies a harsher truth. Fury barely tried, and Paul still looked lost. According to training camp insiders, the sparring wasn't a learning experience, it was a demolition. Eyewitnesses claim Paul was dazed repeatedly, his timing non-existent, and his fundamentals nowhere near elite level. When leaked clips hit social media, fans erupted in disbelief. Memes flooded timelines, roasting Paul's technique, questioning his bravado, and mocking the hype that surrounds him. Suddenly, boxing's loudest disruptor looked like the apprentice in over his head. John Fury's assessment left no room for doubt. In his signature fashion, he shredded Paul as a non-fighter. Fury Sr. viciously declared Anthony Joshua could beat Jake Paul even if he turned up sick, injured, and dressed backward. To him, the matchup isn't competitive, it's physical comedy. Those inside Tyson Fury's camp echo the sentiment. They say Paul struggled to land clean punches in sparring, looking confused under pressure. Each mistake was punished. Every weakness was exposed. It wasn't training, it was a warning. And that warning has now become a megaphone. Eddie Hearn, usually diplomatic, admitted Jake Paul has dedication, the work ethic, discipline, and media presence are real, but the skill level is still amateur territory. Even as Hearn acknowledges Paul has improved, he stresses Joshua exists in realms Paul has never experienced: heavyweight power, cruel timing, elite composure. The clash is not progress, it's punishment. Froch ripped Paul without hesitation, calling him a complete amateur. To Froch, losing to Tommy Fury said everything. If he couldn't deal with Tommy's basic fundamentals, what happens when Joshua sends sledgehammers disguised as jabs? Tony Bellew went further, declaring Paul is delusional, blinded by money and fame. His view, Joshua's precision and patience will not only end the fight fast, but embarrass Paul beyond recovery. Bellew called it lunacy, dangerously insane, and fans online echoed the same message. Comment sections turned into execution chambers. Derek Chisora, blunt as ever, said people don't understand the danger. To him, stepping in front of Anthony Joshua is walking into a car crash willingly. Sparring is supposed to teach, AJ doesn't teach. He punishes. Lawrence Oakley tried offering one technical lifeline: fighters get dropped and still win, but even he implied that Paul getting dropped repeatedly during Fury sessions showed his ceiling. You can learn from mistakes, sure, but not when you're making them against killers. Devin Haney, shocked Paul even accepted the fight, admitted he respected the courage or recklessness. His tone said it all. Paul is biting off steel with baby teeth. Haney said Paul will be exploited, his flaws magnified by Joshua's power. Joe Rogan spoke what millions thought. Joshua is one of boxing's deadliest punchers, capable of turning Paul into a viral casualty. That knockout of Francis Ngannou, he reminded, shook the world. Do you want that? Rogan asked. Most watching think Paul doesn't, he just hasn't realized it. Spencer Oliver made the danger even clearer. Joshua's punches aren't entertainment or spectacle, they're damaging. Taking too many could change Paul's life, not just his career. Frank Warren was blunt too. Paul is confident, but confidence means nothing once Joshua starts throwing. Paul might think he understands the risk, but Warren hinted his self-belief is misplaced and could crumble instantly. Duke McKenzie cut deeper. Jake Paul, he said, is in serious danger of being seriously hurt. The tone wasn't hype, it was concern. And then Eddie Hearn delivered the line that drove everything home. Joshua doesn't play with his food. He isn't here to clown. He isn't here to stretch rounds for entertainment or friendliness. AJ sees targets. AJ finishes targets. Every punch lands with intent. Dana White's verdict summed up the entire industry. This is a terrible idea, but everyone will watch because they know what's coming. Casuals tune in for spectacle, real fighters tune in for impact. This isn't boxing curiosity, it's boxing execution. Johnny Nelson added the final nail. Jake Paul might be chasing fame, paydays, and spotlight moments, but this fight might be his career's last big cash out before the fall. The purse is big, but the consequences are larger. What started as hype has become something darker. Sparring leaks confirm Paul is nowhere near elite level. Fury's team laughed, almost pitying him. Social media was merciless, roasting clips again and again. Experts, fighters, promoters, analysts are united for once. Joshua is the storm waiting to vaporize Paul. The message is loud enough to drown out all promotion. Jake Paul is stepping into a fight he cannot win. Tyson Fury exposed him in the gym. Joshua will expose him under the lights. Fans online already sense the blood in the water. They're not asking if Joshua will win, they're asking how brutally and how fast. Some predict 1 round. Others say it doesn't even see the second minute. Paul wanted legitimacy, he might get a legacy instead. The night boxing humbled him. Whether he survives or collapses is now the only unanswered question. Subscribe Fight Shire for more of this kind of content.